Like I knew Eartha Kitt was like different, but like now I see why. Now I really see why this woman ended up alone. What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Rome back with another video. Before we get started, please like, comment, subscribe, all that good jazz. On the road to 1,000 subs, baby. Let's go. Alright, so if you're new to the platform, please subscribe. And if you're an OG, I appreciate the love and support. Now let's go ahead and jump into it. Today, we got Kevin Samuels, and he pretty much wanted to give women kind of like how can I put it, a preview of what life is like for women who put self first all the time, which is pretty much what you see nowadays with modern women. Alright, so I ain't gonna waste my time talking anymore. Let's just go ahead and jump into it. Alright.
So today we're going to talk about the self-love of the modern woman. The women that came before paved the way for what a lot of women today take for granted. And I want you guys to see what the end of the road tends to look like for modern women who put self first above everything else. Now, you may not like what I'm about to show you. You may not agree, but I'm going to tell you, I find it hard to believe that, well, you know what? I got a better example. I'll just show you better than I can tell you. I'll show you better than I can tell you. Because unless you can outdo these two, you can't really say nothing.
Can anyone live with Eartha, Kitt?
That's not for me to decide. That's for someone who decides to live with me to decide. Not for me.
But are you willing to compromise within a relationship?
To compromise? What is compromising? Compromising for what? Compromising for what reason? To compromise for what?
These nuts.
To compromise. What is compromise?
Bruh.
If a man came into your life, wouldn't you want to compromise?
Finish her.
I want you guys to understand something.
Nah, before he even get into it, what the hell? Now, I think about 3/4 of my audience is between the ages of 25 all the way up to about 65, 64. So most people are between those ages. Y'all probably familiar with Eartha Kitt. And if not, just just look up the movie Boomerang with Eddie Murphy. That's the last movie I recall seeing her in that comes the most recent memory. That's a movie a lot of people my age grew up on, and it was pretty popular. And that's back when Halle Berry was like still really young, and she was the it girl back then. Did you see the way this woman laughed at the thought of just forget being submissive, cooperative, compromising? Compromising is an issue for her. Compromising. That woman said, compromise for what? I mean, and just the most evil laugh. Like I knew Eartha Kitt was like different, but Like now I see why. Now I really see why this woman ended up alone. Let's keep it moving.
And what you're seeing right now is a woman who actually had the receipts to show that she lived this self-love, my this, my that. And this is what it tends to look like. Tends to look like for far too many of our women. Many people have seen this clip, but I want you to understand what it means.
Was I married 4 times? Yes, I was. I confess I was married I confess I was married 4 times. And the reason I'm smiling is because I spent a lot of time giving the men involved in some of these relationships a very bad reputation. I'm not saying that I ever said anything that wasn't true. It was all true. Except that the reason that this one human being kept choosing selection poor, not able to evaluate whether this should be a friendship or this should be a marriage. I wanted to be married. And so when the opportunity was there to do so, I did it. I had not lived alone.
That's Diahann Carroll. And unless you ladies think you can do better than Diahann Carroll, that's a 10. And see, let me also talk about this notion of 10. When we rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 means damn near perfect. See, what a lot of women today are doing is they're doing the split thing. They're starting to say, I rate myself as a 10 because I feel bold about myself. But I'm not a 10 as in the terms of perfect. It's bullshit.
Stop the cap.
Quite frankly, I didn't know how to do that. I'm not sure that I know how to do it today. But I did think that it was time for me to stop and try to answer these questions for myself.
Pay
I
attention.
decided to come back to Los Angeles and learn to live alone.
She decided to come back to Los Angeles at the end of life. After 4 attempts of marriage, a woman who has had more than most of you could ever dream of. And she's facing with some very real things.
Yo, I want to stop it here because this is... I really had no idea that Diahann Carroll, like, went through all this, like, as far as her love life goes. I mean, I don't know much about Diahann Carroll. She's before my time. But, you know, the name does ring bells. I've heard of her before. Know of her, but I had no idea. 4 times, and you couldn't stick with one of them. This, And you know, it's funny. I see so many men getting divorced by women. And from what I can tell, a lot of these guys pretty much got, you know, everything you should need to sustain a marriage. And it's like, hypergamy for women is so high now that it seems like there's nothing a man can do that's enough to sustain a marriage. Unless you're just dealing with a woman that doesn't believe in divorce. You can be doing everything right, get cheated on, still get divorced, and still get left, you know what I mean, with half of your assets. Like, see, I'm like, women who with this kind of mindset, along with Eartha Kitt, it's the reason why a lot of them are single. Let's keep it moving.
Not the role I play. And it's difficult to learn to live alone. It's difficult because I'm difficult. I'm not easy to live with.
It's difficult to learn to live alone. It's difficult to live with a selfish woman because selfish women are difficult. Now you got two of the best that ever did it. But share your reflection. At the end of life, one is humble and reflective and coming at it with humility, and the other is cackling.
And you know what? That's a very, very, very valid point that he just made, because now when he's saying cackling, he's referring to Eartha Kitt, the first woman. The second woman being Carroll, who comes off a little bit more remorseful, regretful, like he said, humility and humble. And in my personal opinion, y'all let me know if y'all agree or disagree, but generally, these are the two different responses, archetypes, however you want to put it, that you're usually going to come across when it comes to women who have this mindset. You know what I mean? They're either going to be humble and look back and be like, damn, you know what? I should have did this different, like a Diahann Carroll. Or they just going to be rebellious and I don't give a damn and blase, like an Eartha Kitt. You know what I mean? And if you want to go more modern time, or Eartha Kitt, as far as mindset goes, just mindset. You can make a case, maybe a Brittany Renner, Superhead, which I need to do a response video to her, because she about pissed me off with I'm like, the nerve of her having the things she had to say. I'm coming for her. You know what I mean? But yeah, this is typically the two different type of women that you're gonna come across, you know what I mean, this time in their lives. And I still can't get over Eartha Kitt laughing like that. That was so evil. Let's keep moving.
You have 3 or 4 choices here that will give you a terrible day or a wonderful day. And there's no one else to blame except you.
No one
you're
else.
Here alone. You can't say he did this or he
Come
did
back
that.
here.
It's all you. And you don't seem to want to make yourself extremely happy the way you wanted other people to come along and make you extremely happy. Nobody can make you extremely happy but you.
Come on now.
I was an old lady before I understood that.
Boom.
What do you know? Oprah.com. Oh, man. Man. And it shouldn't take women to get that age to figure it out. It really should. And that's sad. And I mean, Diahann Carroll, she looked like she got to be, 60 or 70 years old? I mean, just looking at her in this clip, I can tell she was really attractive when she was young. All right? Like, Eartha Kitt. It's just so funny to see that how far back those women, how far you got to go back to go to these women's prime. And dude, the mentality is literally the same as women in 2022. That's scary.
Yep.
That just goes to show you how long this movement has been pumped into the system and the kind of influence it's had on modern women. this goes all the way back to the Eartha Kitts and Diahann Carrolls of the world. That's why sometimes I think we're too far gone. So far gone that we can't really correct it. I mean, you know, channels like this, it's like we can only do so much, but clearly we are too far gone because it seems that majority of the women are rebelling against anything that they think is suppressing them. When in reality, it's not to suppress you, it's to help you.
Yep.
But modern women are not going to look at it that way, and that's the problem.
Nope.
All right, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. And then again, please like the video. It helps with the algorithm. And if you're new to the platform, please sub. All that good jazz and notifications. Catch y'all in the next video, y'all. Deuces.